Once again, I have absolutely no self-control, so let's do a haul. This is going to be in no particular order because much like the rest of my life, it's chaos. I'm just going to grab one off the top of the list. First and foremost, we have Crescent City. So I'm really excited about this. Not only is she a thick gal, much like myself, she looks really good. Adult fantasy, half fae, murder mystery. Is it a mystery? I don't know. Sexy time? What can I say? I'm all for it. Next up on the list is, ooh, let's do this one. The next on the list is Boy Snowbird. And look at that cover. Ugh, stunning. Absolutely stunning. Set in 1953, this is a loose Snow White retelling. This follows the main character, Boy, who actually marries a man by the name of Arturo, and he already has a daughter by the name of Snow from a previous relationship. They also have a new daughter named Bird, and it's essentially about Boy grappling with the fact that she becomes an evil stepmother. The next book I saw someone review on TikTok and I absolutely fell in love with it is 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think, and so far it is absolutely wonderful and I love it. It basically is just asking you questions and diving into ways to help better your life, and each chapter is based on a specific topic. If I just peruse the table of contents, I have Psychology of Daily Routine, 10 Things Emotionally Intelligent People Do Not Do, 20 Signs That You're Doing Better Than You Think You Are, 101 Things More Worth Thinking About Than Whatever's Consuming You, Expectations You Must Let Go Of in Your 20s, Read This If You Don't Know What You're Doing with Your Life, 8 Cognitive Biases That Are Creating the Way You Experience your life. So far, I absolutely adore it. I'm not too far into it, but what I can say is it genuinely raises questions that I've never even thought of before. I'm all for self-help. I'm constantly trying to improve myself and grow as an individual, and this book has helped me in ways that I did not imagine it would, honestly, so far. I don't think it's really a book that you should just kind of dive into and read chapter after chapter. I personally like to kind of just pick up a chapter and let it marinate and sink in, do some like journal entries, and let it sit for a while. So this is a book that's going to take me a while to get through, but in a good way, and I'm really excited about this one. So if you're stuck right now, you don't really know what you're doing in life, or you just feel like you need a bit of a change and a pivot and you want to learn more about yourself, then I would highly recommend picking this up. The next book on the list I am so excited to talk about. I cannot rave about this book enough, and it is Among the Beasts and Briars. Yes, I did finish it in a day. Yes, I absolutely loved it with every bit of me, and that is shocking considering if you saw my review of Deal with the Elf King, which is a very feel-good, Disney-esque kind of book. I didn't like it. I'm sorry, Cece. This is a book I genuinely enjoyed from the beginning and from the last line. Everything about it was wonderful. I went into it in a reading slump. This is one of the first books that I picked up to try to get me out of it. Did it get me out of it? No. No, it didn't. However, it was incredible. I love this book so much. I read it on my Apple Books, and then I immediately decided to go to Depop and get a Owl Crate special edition of it because I loved it that much. And I managed to snag the little author card, and it's signed by the author here. And hold on, one of the main characters is a bear, and her name is Vala. I got a Vala pin. This follows the main character, Ceres, and when her kingdom is overtaken by dark magic, she has to go on a journey to a neighboring kingdom with a fox and a bear in hopes to not only save the one she loves, but also restore the magic to her kingdom. I don't think you understand how excited I am about this book. I have not been genuinely excited about a book that I think I'll just pick up time and time again forever. This is definitely one of my comfort reads, and I never expected that to happen. But when I say that I love this book, I love this book. I don't know what else to tell you. The next on the list is We Hunt the Flame, and this has been going crazy on Bookstagram. I'm sure you've seen it everywhere. And so I, of course, picked it up, and I'm about 170 pages in. So far, it is a slow beginning, but I heard it gets absolutely amazing. It's enemies to lover, adventure, a woman who dresses up as a man so that way she can provide for a kingdom, a prince who's broody and dark and sad and conflicted. It's so good so far. I'm taking my time with this one, which I usually don't do, but I genuinely enjoy the writing style. So the next one I've never heard about, but I actually found it at my local thrift store. And when I saw the cover, I was immediately drawn in, and then I read the synopsis and then immediately just shoved it in my cart. It is The Beijing Playback. This follows the main character Victor after the death of his father. He quickly finds out that his father wasn't just a restaurant owner, but actually was involved in an international crime syndicate. So Victor, trying to avenge his father's death and get some answers, actually travels to Beijing to get more information and finds himself immersed in the dark world that his father was once in as well. It sounds so good. I have yet to actually read this one, but It looks incredible, sounds incredible. Next up on the list is A Little Life Because I Hate Myself. It follows a friendship of 4 men who are navigating life through their careers, through childhood trauma. It's absolutely heart-wrenching, sad. There's a ton of trigger warning. Definitely look it up before you dive into this book. I started it, I'm not too far into it as you can tell, but so far I'm really enjoying all of the main characters, and the writing is beautiful. So next up on the list is The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. This follows the main character Aiden, who actually wakes up every day reliving the day that Evelyn Hardcastle is murdered. However, he wakes up in the different perspective of 8 individuals who all have different viewpoints and ideas of what happened of that night. So he has to figure out who killed Evelyn, and honestly, it sounds so good. The back says, there are 8 days and 8 witnesses for you to inhabit. We will only let you escape once you tell us the name of the killer. Understood? Then let's begin. That sounds really good. Next one on the list is Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore. I have actually never read anything by this author, and I didn't hear anything about it at all, surprisingly, until I saw it at the thrift store. Without a bookstore, that's not what it seems. It is a whirlwind ride of mystery and magic and just wonder. It sounds so good. I can't wait to pick this up. Oh, a binky tail. Next up on the list is These Feathered Flames. I promise I'm not going to dive into this one. I'm sure you're tired of hearing me talk about it because I've mentioned it in 2 videos so far. It says murder mystery, magic, it's sapphic, court intrigue, and 2 rival princesses coming together for the throne. The last book is Realm Breaker, of course. I've heard everyone talking about this voluptuous lady, and I cannot wait to dive into it this week. It sounds so good. I haven't dived into anything by this author. This will be my first book by her. However, I've heard that this is the best one so far that she's written. I heard there's a lot of world building and info dumping, but I'm completely fine with that because I'm nosy and I want to know everything about every world and how it works. It follows the main character who finds out early on that she is of ancient lineage. She has to go on a journey with some reluctant allies in order to save the world. I feel like the story has been done a lot, so it can go one of 2 ways. Either it's going to be redundant and feel like every other story, or it's going to be different and exciting, and I hear it's actually the latter, so I'm excited to dive into this one this week. All right, friends, with that being said, that's been my haul. I want to know what books you've recently picked up that you're excited to read. Give me more recommendations down in the comments, and if you like this video, please consider subscribing. It would help me out a lot. I'll see you in the next one.